What's wrong with sucking dick for a Range Rover?
It's
Better than
married. Married. What if it's married? What if it's married?
I mean, we don't know one way or the other. It's Schrodinger's married guy, so it's better than doing it for free.
I'm not really sure what I've done to you, but I'll take a Pinot Grigio.
Hello, everyone. This is But I'll Take a Pinot Grigio. This is Season 5 of Vintage Vanderpump, Episode 4, Thirsty Girls, which sounds like it should be a 90s pop song. I'm Sunday pop culture professor, self-proclaimed expert on all things evil, women, and slut-shaming. Now.
Well, listen, we're in the right spot. One of the grosser titles when you learn the context of Thirsty Girls, one of the more disturbing titles, and that's according to me. I'm Jeff, the former Bravo newbie turned perma ready to dish on these fools right here.
Okay.
Yeah, what kind of car was it again? I didn't catch them saying it.
I know, it's very fleeting. It's a Range Rover, and she apparently only sucks one dick for the Range Rover.
Okay, now do you need a Brooklyn accent for that? Did you need to pull out your Brooklyn accent of Lala's basket of accents?
I forgot. I'm better okay with this one than some of the other ones that she does. Let's get it popping, Daddy, is kind of down
that's
there.
Gross. We're not.
Yeah. To remind, though, Jeff, ass steaks and groomsmen, that becomes important later on. Lala doesn't have a married boyfriend, but she does have a Range Rover. So somehow those two things are connected. James is fine after the headlock, but gets threatened again. Now, I am not talking about this episode yet. I am talking about last episode in which Lisa threatens him to be fired. And then lastly, Scheana was talking to gasp Lala, and the world fell apart.
Yeah, this
and there's beef.
But there's lots of beef between the previously on this episode and the next on. I was starting to feel like Ed Norton's character in Fight Club at the beginning when he's losing interest in the world. He's just like everything becomes a copy of a copy.
Yes,
of a copy of a. I was like, that's where we are. We're right in the middle.
Well, we do in this opening scene. We get a fresh face, Ariana's baby brother Jeremy, which has had a troubled go of it. I believe there's some charges. I believe there's some addiction. Yes, I believe he was just sentenced and then released. I think he spent some time in the last year and a half or so. Yeah.
Okay.
He was in the news. Yeah, he was in the news. I looked it up.
Hanging out at Sal's having a sandwich. I didn't know. I didn't know there was so much.
We are. That's why I want to put my arm around his shoulders, like, Jeremy, get out. Get out now. But then in the weirdest, most awkward non sequitur ever, she's like, yeah, me and Tom aren't having sex now. How are you connecting your brother's presence? Did somebody ask you? Why are you offering this information to us? We don't need it. It is superfluous to this conversation, ma'am.
Well, I think it's just a state of affairs, what's going on. I think a lot of people, you get a new roommate, there's a new change in the house dynamic, especially when you're closely related to somebody and you're spending time with that person, bringing them in. So I can maybe it's just laying the groundwork for things to come. I can see. We're caught up on another couple not having sex constantly. So throw somebody else's hat in that ring.
Well, maybe she made a whole list of things that he's disrupting, and production decided that this would be the one that they chose to air. But I was just like, I was like, okay. I mean, just seems like that wouldn't be the first place I went to when I'm talking about my brother. But yes, as we already said, Lala, rumors are flying, and she's sucking D for more than a Range Rover, honey. And what does that mean? Is he buying you an apartment too? Can we say more? This is more interesting than half of this shit.
You only supplied me information that gives me more questions. Is all you did there.
Exactly. But speaking of information that we feels like we should have known all along, is James has a girlfriend. She's 21.
Yeah.
Senior in college. A pageant girl.
Yep.
And she's coming to stay in his paper screen room.
Yeah. For months, we learn later, he's had this girlfriend. So, all right.
It's so weird how some people go in and out of being like Lisa's spokesperson or like in her favor or whatever. But here is where they kind of like, they're asking Lala about James, I guess, and about her, and they become immediately like mouthpieces for Lisa Vanderpump. Like, don't worry, you have to worry about her reputation. You really need to like hold good boundaries with this. Like, you have to be careful. Who are you? Like, did Lisa like tap you on the shoulder this morning and be like, okay, you got to be the puppet today? Because usually it's Scheana who's doing it. But I guess Ariana and Tom are really going for that season 2 renewal or season 6 renewal. So it's like, okay, got it. We're 2 different people.
Yeah, I mean, they see, they've tended the 2 of them before. Pampered has tended to Jala before, like at the party. But I mean, and like I said, Tom, has known James since before he started working there. So I think there is some kind of personal, I mean, Lala's not going to somebody else to complain about something, which we'll see. So, I mean, this is like the only spot to turn to for anything. But yeah, it's just a very like, okay, here's the scene. We are worried about James. Got it. Everyone's worried.
Rinse, repeat.
Yes.
We do need to say her name. Her name is Raquel, aka, as we will find out later, Rachel. But Raquel in this moment, this is the introduction of a very, very famous character, a very, very important character later. But here she is. She is here. This is her. Raquel is on the scene. And it's also important that he supposedly met her on New Year's Eve of this year. Because he be fucking folks.
Yeah, he did.
And yeah. And so that's important to know. I am never one to like laugh at a joke that feels mean, but when he was talking about Raquel working with special needs kids, and Kristen is a special needs kid. That's clever. That's quick. Like, James, if you could do more work like that and slay off the whores and bitches and sluts and stuff like that, then maybe you'd be more likable. But this is the kind of clever, like, quick-wittedness. It's mean. Yes, it is. Is it cutting? Yes. But, clever. But, and Raquel sits down. I just can't imagine why anybody wouldn't like you. Don't worry. Editors will show you. Scene.
Well,
James just being a dick.
And it's not even just that. She is noticing, like, so lots of people have a problem with you. Like, okay, I mean, take that information and do something with it. But at least she's taking the information, I guess. Now, yeah. Still in the gathering phase.
He explains it away. Yeah, well, he explains it away. What does he say?
We're very familiar with this explanation. Everybody's jealous, Sunday. And everyone's jealous.
And Jeff, he's not serving fried chicken.
Nope.
Huh?
He's a rock star.
Okay. I won't ask you for fried chicken then, sir.
Also, he never was. He didn't elevate from serving fried chicken. He's not scraping the gum off the bottom of tables is all he's doing now that's different. That's what he was doing before.
And so we go from there to, the bitch brigade, drinking Simeon. I don't know if I've ever had that before. I don't know. Brooke may have served it to me before. Brooke is real good about exposing me to new things. But they're all sitting around and, Kristen's getting veneers, blah, blah, blah. But then they start talking about it. And I am not going to get into the intricacies. I need you to make me a yarn board because the justifications and the origin stories of all of this beef is getting more and more complicated and more layered. And you're mad because she talked or laughed or high-fived and you're not really mad. You just want her to know. And then no, but she went on to do this. And then she called. It is ridiculous. We're in the weeds of these minutia that is completely meaningless.
Yeah. I love that Kristen's going to go get veneers to get noticed at the beginning. I was like, Carter?
Yeah.
Aren't you?
I wrote that too. Like, I said, where's Carter?
Some guy's got to notice me eventually. I'm like, you live with one.
Yeah,
but it is.
How about your boy over here?
My biggest, we all, I don't understand this friendship thing. This will come up a bunch in this episode. But you have to remember, Katie was trying to have a critical conversation with Scheana at her party. Critical.
I wrote down that too. Speaking of air quotes,
Queen Katie is just trying to preside over this imaginary throne, and it's very weird. It's mean to everyone, and it's this shitty. You're just being shitty for the sake of being shitty. I don't know if she's just upset about, doesn't know, because I see her under some stress. I feel like also a couple times here.
Yes,
and I don't know if it's just coming out like this.
I mean, she doesn't have the chops to be the queen bee, though. Because, remember in season 1, we talked a lot about how mean Stassi was, except we loved her because she did it with this kind of flair, and she had a humor, but she also was a little self-deprecating a little bit sometimes, and so we found her shenanigans to be entertaining. Okay. Katie's not doing that. And I don't know if she's trying to execute all of these maneuvers because she feels like that's what you do, but it's not landing the way she is. And it's even in the next scene when we see Scheana trying to keep Lala at a arm's distance because she's afraid of Katie, or because Katie told her to. That's not a good look on you, 30-year-old.
No, I mean, she's calling Scheana out. Scheana's being unfair. I need to explain all this, but you're too boring for me to ask you to explain, so I'm happy to just move on. That's where I'm at with it.
Well, she says, Scheana is getting defensive. I bet the fuck she is, because at every turn, she's having to karate chop her way through the bitch brigade. What? I didn't talk to her. I didn't high five her. What? I was just trying to be nice. What? We're at work. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And again, this is all the stuff that Katie has done before also.
Yes, for sure. And it gets even more and more intricate too. So that when we go to Sir and Britt's opening up and it's Roll City. And she talks about she's mad that Katie accused her of saying something. And I just wrote down, that's the least of goddamn Katie's crimes. Okay? Accusing you of saying something is not even remotely the meanest that she's done. But enter Lala. Jeff, this was so hard for me to watch. I wanted to crawl under my couch.
Yeah.
She's just coming in normal as can be, asking questions that you ask your coworkers. Hey, how was the weekend? Hey, is there a party in there? What's up? And Scheana was like, hold on. I'm going to let you finish, Taylor Swift, but Beyonce should have won the Grammy. No, you didn't have to do that. You could have just said, cool, all right, holla. Instead, what does she do, Jeff?
Well, she didn't want to be a bitch, first off, which always a great start. Then, do not complete your sentence, whatever you're about to say after that.
Right.
And
that sentence should be rearranged to say, hey, I'm about to be a real bitch instead of, yeah, I'm about to be a real bitch. Yeah. Okay. And I just wrote, this conversation makes me so uncomfortable. But anyway, finish what you're saying. I'm so sorry.
Well, no, I mean, she's saying it came from on high that she's upset with, Katie and her don't get along. So, I mean, Scheana just lays it out I'm not allowed to be friends with you because Katie said so, is really what she's saying. But I'm almost more upset because I expect this from Scheana. This one-word answer stuff from Brittany really got under my skin. And, I know she's part of the bridesmaid crew now, so I guess she immediately just, old sweetheart Brittany here just flips. She's like, yes. I have. It's the most she's on the stand and doesn't want to say something wrong. So she's just giving.
It is.
And I'm like, for Katie, what's going on? The team thing just does not. But I love that Lala clocks it and is like, peace. I don't need this. I really don't.
She's like, I see this. And then Scheana immediately, as any good puppet does, texts the bitch brigade. And Kristen does a dramatic reading, which I know something about. My theater kid wife will take anytime she has to read a text to me, it's always going to be like she's auditioning for King Lear. A dramatic reading. And not only does Kristen do it in that way, she gets applause, which I know what they're doing. They're applauding Stassi. I mean, they're applauding Scheana, but she gets applause for her dramatic reading. Fuck all the way off. I need someone to hurt their feelings quickly. Please, somebody run over there and hurt their feelings.
This clap is horrible. I was like, they clap, the gentle clap at, Scheana held up her end of the bargain for us. what are y'all doing?
Mhm.
Like,
Gross, right?
you know, with your life, what you doing right now? I don't care for any of it. I do not care. Like, and she's like, oh, and like, she's welcome to our group now. Like, what group? This isn't even a long established thing. Like, you kind of got the band back together, but just months ago, none of y'all had jack shit to do with any of each other. I mean, every single one of these people has been like, has cut the other person out. So, like, well, now you're welcome to our group. Like, well, great. So when's my time? Like, I'm about to
Well,
get
I was gonna
cut out of here
say,
anyway.
the ties of this group are so, so thin. And you know what really makes me mad about this thing is that they're forcing me to have to say that Schwartz was right. Remember the end of last season where he said that shit about, Katie wants me to, Katie tries to recruit me into her beef. And I was like, fuck off. She just wants you to, no, he was right. I see what is happening here. That it's like my way or no way. And now Katie is some kind of, I don't know, the hierarchy has shifted a little bit, but don't worry. I don't believe that Stassi is going to allow that to be happen. I think Stassi may give her her season for her wedding, but there is no way Stassi Schroeder is going to be beta to Katie's alpha. Come on.
No, this piggy is not built to hold the conch. Like, that's just not what's going to happen. Like, she's not made for it. Yeah, the 3-headed snake that we've dealt with before is, I'm like, oh, great. I was over this a while ago.
Then we go to Sir back, go somewhere. Like, LVP is dressed like Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Big Top Vampire Maestro. Like, it's this here, and then it's like velvet, and it's buttoned, and it's. I was like, it is broad daylight out, and it is probably 75 degrees. What are you wearing? And I know you're hot to death in there, but we get a glimpse of your long suffering friend,
Diana. Oh, I have to write like OL apostrophe Diana. Is just how, if I don't have steadfast, it's got to be old Diana. Has to pull her immediately.
I do feel sorry for her too, because like she just drops into the conversation midway. Are we going to do something about this?
Yeah.
Like,
because it's the same story.
Yeah. And Lisa's like, oh, what do you mean, dear? She knew what she meant. She knew who she was talking about.
Yeah.
But apparently she's like, I hate this kid, which joined the club, but he's just causing unplugging the equipment, leaving the restaurant without any music, screaming and hollering. And it's mostly because he is drinking. And Lisa needs, do you know, did you catch what she said? She needs before she does anything about it?
She needs some proof.
Yes, definitive evidence. Ma'am, your eyeballs are the proof.
Yeah. Also, look, all this is, I'm guessing, recorded. Y'all have all of these places recorded. We've seen security footage before. Like, also asking when you have history. What else do you need? What's Diana here for? Isn't that your evidence? Your manager just came up and told you. That's what.
And
Diana's about to look like Kathy from the old 80s cartoons. Kids asking, cool, man.
Arg!
Or it just ends with like.
And shit's really bad because this is not Diana's only sighting this episode.
No.
We see her again later.
Mm-hmm.
But it's an emergency psychiatry situation. And Schwartz has got to go see his therapist because in his brain, having a little bit of nerves, having a little bit of heebie-jeebies is the same as having some very deep-rooted feelings and fears about the woman he's about to marry. Those two things aren't the same, sir.
No.
I get heebie-jeebies when I have to, smash a bug.
Also, I think in Schwartz's world, it's just kind of two ways of saying the same thing. Like, I do not care for the position I am in right now. I don't like the speed at which it is going. I don't like the end goal that I see approaching. It seems more like a brick wall than a finish line. And I don't care for it. And I don't have anyone to talk to. And I've got to go in here with hey, Doc, good to see his little sotto voce Schwartz. I don't care for
what?
His little soft, hey, Bubba. Hey, like that's how he goes into the doctor to talk, like he's talking to Bubba, like, hey, we're feeling like I think he's so nervous. He just invents this, personality
This is what I was
about
going to
it, as
ask you.
opposed to just being like flipping the fuck out. Like, please give me the 6 questions I need to ask myself and figure out if I need to be here or not. And she
What
does.
do you think he hoped was going to happen? Because she asked him, hey, are you sure you want to get married? Hey, are you sure this is the right time? So why did this man make an appointment? What do you think what was going on?
I think she delivers exactly what he wants. She makes himself ask a question of himself. Like, what is it, do you really want to? If you do not, what is it that's keeping you from it? And are you willing to confront your partner about these actual fears that you have?
But
and he leaves there with enough gumption to do it. Well, if it's the one thing, if it's one thing, one issue, one main issue, her going to this dark side place he's going to bring up and saying the stuff that is, like actually offensive to him, excluding Tom Schwartz bonehead history. We don't have to get into all that. I'm just talking about this conversation. Then he wants to talk about that one thing, and he's kind of just going about, I'm not saying I completely have his back on all this either, but he is, trying to formulate a way to talk about it. And this is the best way he has to do it right now. Like, that's the person he has to go to.
I'm just wondering, like, why waste that $150? You were never going to admit you're not ready. And if you wanted to have a conversation with Katie, like, you've had many, many confrontational conversations in which you were bitching about she's X, Y, and Z. It just seemed very strange. I feel like it would have been a better served payment. They went together. Have this conversation together. So that way, Katie, dark side Katie is scary. Katie, I'm worried. Like, that's a way to resolve something. He wasn't ever going to do anything on his own.
That's 3 arguments. He brings up he wants to go to the therapist. They've got to get into a whole deal. They actually go to the therapist. They get into it in front of her, and that's a whole fucking deal. Then they go home pissed off at each other, and she's going to let him have it, and then that's a whole deal. This way, he decided to go. He went to the therapist. Then is the argument at home. He just skipped the other 2 arguments, and I think is trying to come at it like, look, I'm so concerned about this one issue. I went to a professional who you have deemed credible. Like, I'm doing this. So, like, take notice. I am actually flipping out about one thing.
Maybe if he just acted more like grounded, about it. Maybe if he took it more seriously, I would be able to take it more seriously. But everything just seems like a bumbling fucking joke to him.
But you're not asking me why it was a good idea. You're asking me why he would have done it. And that's
what I'm saying.
I think he's taking out 2 arguments is all he's doing. He's sacrificing one argument instead of 3.
I can definitely see that too, but it just felt like a giant waste of time. Also, Professor Sunday has a question for you.
Yeah, I like it.
Do you think Katie is getting the Skylar White treatment? I'm talking about aside from all her first shit with the women. I'm talking about, like, aside from that. That's a different conversation. In this dynamic between her and Schwartz, because remember how we villainized Skylar White? Like, oh, what a bitch. She's so nagging. She's, be more supportive. God, whatever.
Right.
Like, and he was an active, horrible person. Is Katie getting that edit? Are they setting her up?
When you know that that's how Skylar's perceived, and you go back and you watch Breaking Bad, you're like, oh my God, what was I thinking? She was under incredible duress, and he's doing all this stuff. Whoa. So we were on the wrong side of history. When you go back and watch the footage that we've been shown of Katie, do you flip your opinion, or are you more on his side?
If we are that's what I'm saying. If we isolate just their interactions, and not let the way how she's being with the other women bleed into it, we are villainizing her for reacting to her man that is empirically awful. But the editing is setting her up to be the bitch. Like, I feel like production in this instance is siding with Schwartz. They're covering a lot of his navel gazing. They're letting him do a lot of explaining and soft talking in his confessionals. Meanwhile, they are capturing Katie into her worst possible situation. At the end of this scene where he goes back to her, I will get to it in a minute, but like, they linger on this woman eating a salad for too long. That's just mean. Well, also, you cannot eat a salad gracefully. And we just have to stare at her while eating a salad.
They do. One of the clips they show, though, when she's freaking out is when he's like pouring that drink on her also. So, like, you are seeing we've been saying for a while, though, it's not more him, it's not more her. Like, we don't like them and we don't like them together. I think more of the treatment it's showing up is like, neither one, it's hard to pull for either one of these folks in this whole thing.
I asked this because a lot of people in our comments on social media and TikTok, because I made a TikTok saying, listen, I can't remember what my reaction was. How were we receiving these people in season 5, right? I was like, who were we rooting for? Like, what the hell? And I've gotten a lot of people in the comments talking about how they painted Katie as a victim. We were they wanted us to root for Schwartz. I remember that Katie was terrible. I hated her back then, but now looking back, I can see how she was reacting in the correct way or whatever. And so that's why I was asking, because like we were on the wrong side of history with Skylar White, and I'm wondering if people back then who were mad at Katie were on the wrong side of history. Because I don't remember who I sided with.
I think it's more. I don't have a person to root for in here. I mean, I think a through line of Schwartz's, and our watching him, is he is afraid to make a call like, hey, I don't want to date you anymore. I'm too scared to say it anyway. And I think him doing a thing like, hey, I went to that therapist that you called on, except I went by myself. I think he wants her to get upset and be like, yeah, I know, I'm ridiculous, right? You probably don't even want to marry me. Like, he wants her to cut this whole thing off. More than anything. His biggest want is not to throw a $2,000 wedding. His biggest want is to have no wedding, and it's Katie's decision, and then he can walk away and be like, yeah, that bitch dumped me, and then he can find his way around WeHo another way.
Yeah, because he admits he's too chicken for an ultimatum, and this conversation that they're having 2 months before their freaking wedding about, are we ready? Do you love me? Is that I would be such a nervous wreck, because in those last 2 months, there's so much to do to kind of like solidify things and make decisions. And we're having conversations about whether we want to be together. Like, ooh, yike. I can't do it. It's so stressful. It's so stressful. But let's go back to Sir with LVP and Jax.
Get your favorite duo here.
Yes, she checks in with him first. They do a little hi, how are you? And he doesn't even take a breath. He's like, heads up, ma'am. Gossip. And Lisa pretends to kind of bat it away, pretends that, oh, I don't take you seriously. She does, okay? She does. And Jax characterizes this whole thing between the girls as fighting. And I just wrote, who's fighting? Like, thanks to Lala, it was over immediately.
Jax has got to juice it up a little bit. He likes to embellish a little bit. I mean, he always is throwing a little extra in there also.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she brings old Scheana up right away, too.
I was about to say, Scheana must have a radar that goes up anytime anybody's talking about anything. And I want to preface this like little section here. If when you put it that way, it sounds terrible. Was a person.
Yeah.
That's what Scheana is. Because she tells this story thinking that Lisa's going to like, I don't know, sympathize with her or agree with her. And she's like, well, Katie told me not to talk to her and now I can't, so I can't work with her. Like, ma'am, do you hear it? And Lisa's like, oh, that's ridiculous. Yeah, that's not real.
Well, she brings it up like, well, she asked me about my weekend. And you're like, right. Yes.
And
like, Lisa's not having it for once with Scheana, which doesn't always happen unless she finds a way to bring up Brandi Glanville. Just out of nowhere. But she is, it's not professional. She's not having it. And she's like, time to start drawing lines. I was like, okay.
Sure. I'll believe it when I see it.
Let's see what happens here. Yeah.
I do like Jax being very, very serious, trying to explain the concept of like hive mind. And I fear that the boys may have been onto something all along. And I was very hesitant to jump on board with their male opinion, because I was like, oh my God, this is rooted in misogyny. They're just like talking about it. They're just clucking. They're calling them clucking hens is really sexist. But I see now this pack behavior starting to manifest, and it's really fucking vicious.
Yeah, it doesn't work out. It doesn't come out in a positive way at all. No. And I mean, now you're seeing the person, as we've said a bunch of times, though, you're seeing the person who felt like they were the biggest victim of it at the beginning, now just perpetuating that exact same behavior. But now now she's the one going to a boss about like, this girl asked me about my weekend and I'm not having it and I can't work with her.
How
like,
dare she? Yeah.
You can leave. You can leave right now, please.
And so this whole exchange between Schwartz and Katie, I mean, she overreacts in this moment, depending on what the editing was. But
yeah,
I'm gonna have to put the W. I'm going to give the W to Tom in this instance.
I do too. I will say this is where I start seeing some of Katie's, like, she's not acting on it right, so I'm not giving her a bunch of credit. But I think when she's sitting there with the dog, having a drink and doing her adult coloring, as she calls it, like, she's stressed, and that's her stress reliever. And she is using her alone time to be like, I just want to color in fucking lines for a little bit. And that, because I get it. We all have our little things. Like, I just want to put this puzzle together for a half hour, and then I'll get on with my day. I mean, as a grown up, you do have these little playful things you do sometimes. And like, I think she looks stressed the fuck out. And I don't mean like she's been drinking with the girls. And like, I think it's not all, she's the one making all this stuff happen, right? Like, I got to jump on the invitations. Yeah. I got to jump on the photographer. I'm getting the place together. So in her mind, it is also like, what is, our connection here? And it's like, let me just have a minute. And then he comes in and she's like, you dropped a bomb on me. But I mean, he is trying to talk to her, but like, I am seeing a little bit, I am not getting her side in this bit, but I do see like,
yeah,
hey,
in this matchup, I think, I mean, she just, I don't know. She just went from like 0 to a million. And like I said, editing is a real powerful thing here. Yeah. But I also would like to just take issue with Tom's like, well, I guess I'll just never talk about my feelings anymore. I guess I'll just never have any feelings. That is so fucking manipulative, because what he's essentially saying is, I'm going to say some, scary shit or some really affecting shit, and you're not allowed to react to it, because if you react to it, then I'm going to shut down going forward and punish you for having normal reactions to things. And that is so fucking manipulative. Well, that's what I get for having feelings.
Right.
That's not how it works. It's lose-lose.
That's one thing that makes it tough to give either one of them a big W, because like he does that. Yeah. She just came from getting to see her two best friends in the world that she gets to spend. And did she use that to like say, hey, I'm actually having some feelings about the wedding. Tom is doing this thing. I'm doing this. Or is she creating a whole bunch of more problems with this team Katie, team Lala? Scheana should act a certain way. I'm going to hang out with two people I do not work with anymore, who pretty much are around when there's problems around all the time. And I think that's why she's having such a tough time. Like, she should use them as the outlet, Otherwise, she just gets upset and rage eats some salad, like you were saying.
And the cameraman's like, yeah, girl, I'm going to watch the whole thing. Eat it.
He's got to also be like, what am I doing with my life? Like, I was on a set. I was on a real film set 2 months ago, and now I'm just sitting here watching her eat salad.
Speaking of cameras on people eating, Nolan and I watched a very, very disturbing and enlightening documentary called Fat Girls Wanted. And it is a look into this, like a feeder kink and the only fat. It's really interesting and kind of like
shed about light that house
with the guy who recruits fat women. Yeah. And it's just, they really like get into a lot of the kinks and the culture of it all that I did not know anything about. And I was like, oh God, okay. I love it when, the internet or the zeitgeist teaches me something. And I was like, oh, never heard of this. Okay. And so so the man had a fetish, and then he turned his fetish into a monetization, and there was a lot of sexual elements to it. It was really interesting. I recommend it. Go watch it. It's 3 episodes. It's a hard watch, but it's really good. But Katie eating salad in front of the camera reminded me of it.
Yeah, it's not quite like a mukbang thing for her.
Well, they talk about that as well. They absolutely discuss that in the documentary. But yes, which I just learned that term just the other day. So But then we're over here to Jax and Brittany. And we have been really thinking that Jax is kind of the like secondary breadwinner and that Britt is the primary, but he makes it very clear that because he is a gentleman and that's how he treats women, he's taking care of her. I don't believe that.
No, I think he's I think he's way out of his element on a whole bunch of this, and he talks about, this sandwich stuff is pretty rough. It's out there. And he's like, I knew this, this is not the way I was raised. I'm like, so most of the time you're out there in the world, the way you've been behaving, if we bring Marie in from Michigan again, she's going to say, this is exactly how I taught Jax to treat women. This is exactly how I taught Jax to take care of his own personal belongings. This is how I taught Jax to respect other people's belongings. That, is that, you want me to believe a certain gentlemanly way you were raised as you're acting like this in the exact same scene? And with her calling out, I also do this. I also do that. You don't even know when the fuck you need to be at work. This man-child got to stop.
In the same shirt that he was wearing yesterday. But
I'll put some deodorant on.
I want Jax to ask me to make him a sandwich. I'll make you a sandwich with fucking ground glass. It'll take one fucking week until you're not my problem anymore. But I want to say this because I don't want it to seem...
I'm going to call kind of bullshit on that.
I don't want it to seem condescending to people who perform traditional gender roles or who stay home or all that stuff. But this whole thing where he is kind of putting on Brittany that he wants her to perform a very certain kind of role, that's fine. But what you have to understand is if you want a woman to perform a very traditionally feminine role in the house, you got to perform a very traditionally masculine. So how about take a shower, stop fucking other girls, change your shirt, stop getting arrested for shit in Hawaii. You cannot demand things of Brittany that you are not willing to. And that's kind of, I don't want to get into this big giant rant, but that's kind of the problem with the male loneliness epidemic right now. It's that I want women to do blah, 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 blah. But men are not often willing to, reciprocate the kind of effort.
No, he's whining about it the whole time. She's like, just clean the fish tank. It's the one thing you got to do around here.
Yeah. And the fish tank.
And I hate James. Get out. Get out.
And the fish tank turns into it becomes a larger thing. I'll talk about that later. But I just want to say, if Brittany wants to stay home and Jax is cool, that's feminism. But if Brittany is going to work and making the lion's share of the money and he's standing there entitled, talk about she needs to make him 28 sandwiches, that's murder right there. That's
And we've seen him we've seen him more closer to murder than we have be a straight gentleman for 5 straight minutes. So,
and we don't have to talk too much about it, but Brittany in that confessional
is.
We can take a little break right here.
Funny. That's just cute and funny.
Well, I just want to say, she's like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. I do, girl. Buy a larger size. You got big titties now. That doesn't fit you. That's what's happening. Buy a bigger size.
Aside from that, she doesn't know.
That dress is too freaking small. That is all we need to know about it. But okay,
she's cute.
For real, let's take a break right here, and then we'll come back and talk about Kristen's veneer mitzvah. I've got some things I need to workshop with you.
Okay.
So we're at Kristen's veneer premiere. Now, I was going a little different. I was workshopping veneer mitzvah, like a bar mitzvah or a quinceanera, a Vincent. But as always, you came up with the cleverness. But, that's exactly what I want to do when I get out of surgery with nitrous and having my teeth grinded. Sure, man. Let's pop some bottles.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you would need the number of that dentist as well.
I need to have a word. Sir, don't tell this woman to have a champagne diet. And I keep going back to Stassi talking about how she has a shamectomy. She has no qualms about being on Valium, whatever pain medicine they gave her, and drinking and not being embarrassing on camera. She just, she's not thinking, ooh, I better keep my wits about me just a little bit. She's like, glug, 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 glug.
Well, I mean, she's given us tips on how to sneak into places, and she knows she's bragged about how she's not getting the invite doesn't mean shit. So, I mean, I'm not saying good or bad. I'm just saying that's who we're talking about here. That's our question.
And we do not have to rehash this whole conversation. There's just a couple of things I would like to point out, just, I don't know, to the universe.
Yeah.
Maybe, because we already know it. But Katie actually said to Scheana, don't be nice to her because that's worrisome. And Katie said it doesn't sit well with her that Scheana spoke to her coworker. Surely they are performing absurdity, right? Like they're not serious, Jeff. They're not real. This isn't real.
Well, Scheana sure takes it like she's real, doesn't she? She absolutely takes it like a real, and I would like to know who I am allowed to talk to then, because if everyone else at SIR gets along with Lala, can I not get along? So if Katie's not there, because these other two haven't worked there in a long time now, if Katie's not there, Scheana can talk to Brittany, I guess.
Brittany. And, Lisa, I guess. Jack.
Out of the 6 dozen people that work there, she's allowed to talk to another woman, one other woman there, because I can't imagine brand new Katie friends are lining up at SIR at this point. And I don't, edit aside, I haven't seen her do anything at work or anywhere else that makes me like, oh, I bet so-and-so is going to warm up to her. Like, no.
This makes me really sad for Katie. I mean, for Scheana. Sorry. But this makes me really sad for Scheana because she just wants it so bad. And Noel and I have taken on a new show. It's called McB Dynasty. And we were having this conversation earlier about the women who are with these McB men, different conversation. But I was like, God, I feel sorry for these women because they just want it so bad. They have nothing else going on. And I mean, Scheana does, but they're just the approval that she needs so desperately. She is cannibalizing her own character, her own morality in order to be able to stand in front of these women. And it makes me very sad for her. And we know even zombie Scheana is making me feel bad, even though it's a jump scare every time.
It really is, especially when you go back and forth to her looking one way and then the other, because it's not the same.
Yeah.
And I mean, she does have other stuff going on, or the possibility of other stuff. She is spending so much time and energy on this trio. Like, what Scheana Marie recording star? What budding pop star are you talking about? What girl that could be working on her dancing or recording in some guy's bedroom? Like, go do that stuff that was making you so happy. This seems to only cause you so much stress.
Or what woman who is helping her newly sober husband, who they almost divorced, where's that woman, right? But also, Jeff, I love you so much, but I think you might have to just let go of your hopes and dreams for these people because they have. They don't want to be anything but reality stars at this point. Now, everything else that they do is going to be through the lens of their reality stardom, but this is it. They've decided. They've locked in. We're 5 seasons in. These folks are reality stars now.
They just want to get Botox and talk shit. Got it. I
mean, have you seen evidence to contradict that? No, we have not. And then another sort of terms, Katie's setting out the terms, that she needs Scheana to understand what kind of friend you need to be.
Whew, yeah, no, it was hard for me to get to the scene. Like, I want to fast forward this 3-minute scene. I don't even want to get through. Yeah.
It was really uncomfortable.
Where we end up, I have the same feeling also.
And you remember how whenever we were getting, so many scenes of Kristen acting out, Kristen behaving, and we got her tails. James has some tails too when he's lit. Like, there's a certain cadence to his voice. Also,
his eyes.
He's just and he's just there's a swagger to him that he has not earned, and he's wearing a fucking ridiculous scarf. Like, sir, whatever. I can't.
Are you referring to his swag?
There's this whole bit.
Sunday, are you referring to his swag?
Well, his performed bravado.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
well, he asked
he walks
Lala
around
what
with
she thinks about his swag. So, I mean, I thought you were.
Oh, that's right. She always loves his swag. I
I
forgot.
hope you're not hating on his swag.
You know what? I mean, I am. But I think Lala would be like a really cool friend to have. She seems like she'd be your hype man always. Like, Lala's always going to be your hype man. Be like, yes, I do. I love that tank top you got on. You know, like just hyping you up.
Yeah, and I mean, you take out the one party scene and whatever happened in the off season that we hadn't really seen. She doesn't.
Yeah, summer bodies.
So yeah.
So a thing comes up. Gigi, she slept with James, and I thought she was about to say something juicy about how she was afraid to work with him because he was like stalking her and whatever. But I mean, I guess it's equally juicy. But she slept with him. And then tried to break it off, and he flipped out. And guess what he called her? Guess what he called her?
What was it,
a whore.
Sunday? A whore.
It's a whore. And listen, I'm going to say this right now.
Because it has been going on. It wasn't like a one.
I want to say this right now. You're going to walk around calling all these women whores. You need to be writing checks, sir. Write this woman a check. She's such a fucking whore. Venmo her $5,000 then. Because, no. That's all I'm going to say about that. But it is juicy because we met Raquel prior to this episode, right? Like earlier in this episode. And so we're like, oh shit, they're in love, Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
They're in love.
Moving in. Yeah.
And James is here again. This whole thing about Jax narking, and I just wrote, Jax wants to make Sir great again.
Oh, yeah.
Make Sir great again.
Which is before. So with the lady that, she comes over to James with a shot. This is Debbie from Nebraska, right? We always bring up Debbie from Nebraska. And I feel like personification
her 5 minutes
of Debbie from Nebraska is right
we
here.
got a Debbie from Nebraska sighting for sure.
Jax does want to make Sir great again. Pardon me, Jesus. But I do love that as he wants to make this area great again, we get reminded of what was actually like when it was, great, as he calls it. He was, perhaps acting the same way we see somebody else do.
Don't worry. The editors will remind us, you were inside me without protection. And the sound of his voice when he says, are you really going to do this right here at the bar? Yeah. That buoys me. Like that makes me feel so good because he just was so embarrassed in that way. But a lot of people continue to make parallels between James and Jax. And I don't like to do that because I find James so repugnant and I find Jax still, I don't want to say lovable, but I do forgive a lot.
More repugnant
for him.
It's more repugnant.
I don't find him repugnant. No, I do not find him repugnant. But the very last thing, Gigi, you want to do is say some shit in front of Jax Taylor because Gigi's still telling her story and Jax is turning to go run tell it.
She knows exactly what she did that completely on.
Yeah, you think?
She knows the one.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. You think she's not watching the show? She saw last season. She knows exactly how to act. Gigi knows.
Fair enough.
What is
fair
up.
enough.
Yeah.
And talking about James, Jax wants to ruin his life. Sir, stand down. James is ruining his own life. He is doing a fine job ruining his own life. We don't need your interference. But of course, Jax will never not interfere.
Yeah, I was going to say, he always knows his boundaries real well. I don't think we're watching the same Jax sometimes. I want to see him through the lens sometimes.
Also, I want to know, what is James Kennedy's beef with Honda Civics? They are a good, reliable car. They are fine. Like, he's like, I'm over here driving an Aston Martin. I'm not going to hop in a Honda Civic. And remember whenever Tom was teasing him about his Beamer selfies, and he was like, well, it's better than your Honda Civic. What's wrong with a Honda Civic?
Somebody ran
Honda
over
Civics
James
are fine cars.
One time.
Like,
that's exactly
I
what happened.
guess, like, come on. And Jax gets involved and they're shouting. And this whole, like, make another drink, pump teeny, whenever he's clapping is a very, very, very famous scene that sort of encapsulates James' terribleness and Jax's kind of ineptitude here.
Right after Jax was yelling at Lala about going to suck dicks to get more Range Rovers. Is that what you did now? Did your senses catch that? Or is that something you skipped over just to... Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of sucking dick accusations. But listen, what's wrong with sucking dick for a Range Rover? If you're going to do it anyway, you might as well get something in exchange.
He's trying to call her out. Don't make this about not being... Is it Jax's business to call it out in the middle of an entire crowd?
No, but if I was Lala, I think that would be the tact I would take.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
No, I'm just saying, like, to defend yourself against all of these accusations, that would be the tact I would take. I'd be like, okay, all right, I gave a blowjob for a Range Rover. You gave a blowjob. What'd you get? Okay, shut up.
I'm just saying,
you had to clean the fish tank. Like,
of him to do that. And that is all.
Of course it is. No, I'm acknowledging that too. But I'm just saying, I think Lala could have regained a little bit of power, not just with Jax, but also with Katie, also with James, like all of the folks. Because it's just like, when you remove the stigma to it, like, call me a slut all day. I'm a proud slut, you know?
No. These open folks, you think Katie's open to hear new ideas about how Grace... no, she has her mind made up,
I think,
and that's it.
Well, no, but if Katie sees that the shit that she's saying is not bothering Lala and is not hurting her and is not trying to lower her social status anyway, and she's not taking them on board, I think that is very bothersome to both Katie and Stassi. Remember how upset Stassi got when Katie finally became unbothered? That's hurtful. Yeah. And so that's what Lala needed to be like, listen, I'll be driving my dick suck Road Raver all over WeHo. Goodbye.
I think that's where she's at.
Stay in your Honda Civic. Yeah, like stay in your Honda Civic. You know what? You're not doing the right D's. Schwartz has a haircut too. I didn't mention this earlier, but it is a very Peaky Blinders situation that he's doing.
It is. He and Tom love each other about it. Big time.
They are always going to have each other's backs. And he sits down to chit chat with his best friend, boyfriend, whatever. And he's like, listen, I know that Katie didn't want Ariana in the wedding, so I am going to put her in the wedding.
Yep.
Everything he does is in direct opposition to what Katie wants.
Yeah, he's poking the bear on, that'll come out, but yeah.
We wonder why she goes to the fucking dark side.
Right.
Because of this kind of shit. This is why I wonder if she was getting the Skylar White treatment, because this is bullshit. Like, you're doing and like, sometimes like women like, oh, you know what? I asked for 3% milk, but he bought whole milk. And then I got mad. In itself, that's a nothing thing. But in the larger sense, he just completely disregards everything about what she wants, what she needs, and all of that. And so, you know what? Sometimes Dark Side Katie maybe has a purpose.
Yeah, I think they're both being shitty. This is a shitty thing he's talking about, the way he's talking about going about it also. Yeah.
We get another Diana sighting.
Mm-hmm.
She's earning her paycheck. I really hope they're paying her per episode here, or paying her per appearance. But James denies it with Gigi, and he says, you are unacceptable and very rude. I'm like, okay, Sir Majesty, like, go down, go have another cocktail. Yeah. I do really like that Lala does not narc to LVP. She comes in and was like, hey, how's the night? She's got her cup to her ear like this. Yeah, how's she's the night?
Like, just fine. All good.
Yeah. Love that. Love that for her. And then,
but yeah, Diana's got to pull LVP aside right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm like, fired. You're fired. He's fired. This is it.
So obnoxious.
You're fired.
Like, don't even have a talk. But she pulls him, and this is where I think maybe it's not just alcohol here. He's so defiant at first, and so just really, really focused in on his own point of view here. And this is where he calls them bitches thirsty little girls, and he can't provide any water for them.
Yeah.
And
no, I thought he was
the
there to provide the water for him.
Well, I think he's saying that's why they're all mad, because they're so fucking thirsty and he just can't provide the water for them. I thought that's what he was saying.
Okay. Cool.
But he flips it on Lisa, saying, well, you just don't appreciate what I do, and you're this and you're that. Like, what do you make of this exchange? This was wild.
One stage from going home, she says. And then, we've been one stage from it, I don't know, 9,000 times already. And then she orders him back to work. All right, we'll go in there and stay on the clock some more. You're clearly doing the thing I told you. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's lame as hell.
Is it maybe because she didn't have anybody to do the music and she needed him to finish his shift?
We have a CD player. And sir,
I guess. I just don't know why she would send him back.
Because she's an executive producer on the show, and she thinks he's good on the show. That's it.
Well, you can see that it got away from her in a little bit when the cameras had to film through the window.
Yeah.
It got away from her a little bit. But was she smiling through that exchange? Did she seem smirky in a way?
She is a little. I think she doesn't know what to do, actually. I think her balancing. I think Lisa is very smart and calculated for most things, but I think sometimes things do pile up, like, because what's coming back at her is what she's allowed to have happen.
Yeah.
Keep letting his leash out a little bit. Well, fucking guess what? He's going wild. Absolutely. Every single time he has a chance. And she doesn't know.
You think maybe she feels out of her depth?
God, yes. She obviously doesn't need to be here. But I know that I've had notes from the other producers that say they want to keep James on. And so I don't really know what to do here. So, yeah. I think she's smirking because she's like,
the situation has become unwieldy. Because it has. Really quick in the alley. I don't really want to talk more about this. I really want to talk about the scene with Ken and them. Hold on a second. But I only want to say, this is sweet. I lie but a lot. I only want to say this. Ariana had it worse because she knew what she was eating. At least Jax and Sandoval didn't know they were eating ass steak when they got asked to be groomsmen. Ariana has to watch him unwrap it from the foil, and she has to eat it knowing that it's been in his ass.
She didn't eat an ass steak. These two have been hanging out, getting high for the last 2 hours. Somebody brought out a steak from the kitchen that Chef Joe Tom didn't walk in there.
I hope that's true.
In his pocket. Where did he have that steak when he came in? Where did he have that steak?
That's what I'm saying. It was all wrapped up janky. I felt like it was like in his back pocket. He just took it out. But I hope you're right. I really hope that he did.
It was perfect steak with that shrimp right on top of it, balanced just like that, right out of his pocket.
Well,
I don't think so.
I hope you're right.
No.
I hope that's right.
If she does eat an ass steak, that's horseshit, because the reason he did that is because of the hazing he received from those other two. Ariana didn't do any of that hazing, so she better not receive any ass steaks and shrimp.
Maybe it's a rite of passage. I wonder if the other 7 groomsmen have to eat ass steak too, because remember, he wants 10.
You're right. But I will say this idea is just a horrible idea. It is something to poke the bear.
Yeah.
He wants Katie to do something drastic, like call off the wedding. So it's just like Jackson Brittany. He's going to keep bringing up problems with Brittany when he can to LVP, because he wants her to fire her, not him having dealt with any of it. That's exactly what Schwartz is doing here.
I will say that I'm not mad at Ariana in a suit. I think that might be okay.
Yeah.
Might get a thumbs up from old Sunday here.
I'm with you. Yeah. I think they're just hanging out, though. I don't think there's any ass steak involved.
Okay. Well, I hope that's true, just because otherwise it just seems a more torturous situation.
Yeah, it's bullshit. So.
And so James wobbles up to Sandoval's bar and asks for a shot. He says, Joe, I'm leaving. I'm good. And Sandoval again delivers this thing. You need to watch out. You need to tighten up. You really got to stay on your shit because you're kind of fucking up. He's like, I'm the most valuable player. And Sandoval's like, most valuable player? Like, that what you're trying to say?
Right.
And Lisa spots him from across the thing and again says, go back to work. Go back to the DJ booth.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Why?
This man can barely stand.
No. Why are we paying him at all? You're endangering other folks at that point.
Yes. And she talks harder to Sandoval. You're smarter, wiser, older. You need to look out for him. She talks harder to Sandoval than she does to fucking James.
She also just watched them drink her booze. And then, like, you can't drink. Not only am I drinking, I'm drinking your stuff right in front of you, and you're going to let me go back to work. James,
I guess
at
that
this point,
wasn't the definitive proof she needed.
Yeah, wins at this point, but he about to get taken down a notch.
Oh, my God. This was the best thing ever. Because we have had little inklings of Ken's, like, Ralph Machismo. We have hinted that he may be connected in a way. First off, James is a mess. He toggles between being really, really defiant and loud to crying to begging to like bargaining. It is the saddest thing. But Ken, this man, he said, "Listen, you little fucker, I will knock the spark out of you."
Yeah.
Panties disintegrated. Listen, I was like, I've never been attracted to Weekend at Bernie's, but I was like, holy shit. Okay. I see you. All the while holding like a 3-pound dog.
I was going to say,
that's dressed in a suit.
I want to see him do something isn't just because, like, I am tired of James and he needs to get knocked, or I just want to see Ken spring into action. I want to see a dude in a suit smack the shit out of some 24-year-old smart mouth while holding a tiny little dog and then get into his custom Bentley and ride off. I want to see that.
I mean,
but fortunately, I just get to hear James cry for 30 seconds and then flip out in other ways. Like, Ken's going to get upset. Ken's going to get upset.
This is so embarrassing for him.
You can't work here anymore just on that. Like, even if you hadn't been drinking, like, nah, man, you got to get that out of here.
And she calls him back in the next day to Villa Rosa to like make it official. But I said this yesterday in our summer house coverage. Listen, if y'all all think James is such a kid, turn him over your knee and give him a spanking. Otherwise, treat him like a fucking adult. He is not an invalid. He's not a boy. He is a 24-year-old man. Why are you giving all these concessions to this man?
There are no reasons. There are zero reasons.
Well, he's fired, but he doesn't want to take full responsibility because it's partly their fault, everyone else's fault for being wankers and whores and assholes.
Yeah, it's Jackson Gigi's fault. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And listen, this sentence is going to haunt me. If I ever had anyone of authority or that I respect in my life say this phrase, you should never have another drink your entire life. I feel like that would just like a ton of concrete. That is a very loaded statement packed with a lot of shit that other people are expecting and seeing. And that's hard to hear.
Much like a bunch of these very memorable lines, I think it's more important what comes next. Like, what's the next word after she says, like, drink in your life?
I don't know.
There's just a pause, and then she just says, go.
Go.
She's just left with go. Not go, you need to get out of here. Go. That chilled me more than any of it. Like, there's nothing being said at all, and she just says, go. Like, I have so little to say to you after that I can't even tell you about how little I have to say to you after that. All I have is go. Like, damn. Yeah.
I mean, what's he gonna do now?
I don't know.
With his little screen apartment.
I know it's going to be short-lived as anybody else that's been fired off here. So, I mean, he's not getting our screen anytime soon, I don't think.
I want a lady to survive, so I hope he finds something. Maybe he's got another DJ gig. Also, too, I didn't like how he was like teasing Lisa for knowing who Calvin Harris was. Listen, Calvin Harris dated Taylor Swift. We all knew.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. Taylor Swift. That's who taught me that because we all knew who fucking Calvin Harris was because he dated Taylor Swift. Fuck off. That's how I know who fucking Travis Kelce is because he dated Taylor Swift. But that's where we leave it. And next week, another big one, another big scene. Apparently, Jax provoked it. That's all I wrote. Lala's heard a lot of things about you, James. And then James is like, well, you're being very secretive. And there's more sporty fighting, and his dick may or may not work.
Yeah. Also, James has heard a lot about Lala. Don't forget that. I just wrote,
That's right.
I don't always write something for what's next, and I just wrote next. Everyone's pissed because that's where we've been constantly.
And Katie accuses her fiance that she's going to marry of being impotent on television. And it goes down in VPR canon as one of the seminal moments of this show and their relationship. She can never take it back. It is there. It's ever. That's why your dick doesn't work. What? My dick works fine.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I can't wait to see it, I guess. But this year, instead of the big cast trip, I want the other members. I want to see the other people. I want to see the real workers trip at this point. I want Peter and Diana to be heading up a trip to go somewhere and see some folks relaxing, because this is just going to be bickering in another place when y'all go to it. I know it.
Never has two people deserved a trip more than Diana and Peter.
Yeah. I think these clowns get all the during the season trips, and I think as soon as filming wraps, it's like, okay, Diana, Peter, Chef, all y'all, all the rest of y'all, please enjoy.
Did you have any because the past?
Laura Lee. That was the only one.
Oh, okay. I had a couple.
Which is just
number
a flashback.
One was, which was Ariana talks about hooks for her purse at bars. And that was a thing 20 years ago was not a thing. You had to either hold it or whatever. And then bars started putting these handy dandy little things underneath there that you could, hang your stuff from. And that was a really, really important moment in female history, because it's very bad luck to put your purse on the floor. It's very bad luck. And because your money goes away. Anyway, and then James's scarf. It's bad luck. And James's dumb scarf. I was trying to find a picture of me wearing an equally dumb scarf, because there was a moment in which we all thought weather inappropriate neck accessories were a thing. And we were mistaken, because looking back, I'm just like, hey, James, was it real cold in there? Were you freezing? Because why are you wearing that dumb scarf?
It's still a thing.
Is it?
I mean, this is LA. People walk around with toboggans and suits on all the time when they don't need them. And it's 80 degrees out. It's constant.
He wouldn't last one goddamn minute down here in 100% humidity with that scarf around his neck.
No,
sir.
Get your eternity scarf down here and check it out.
Yes, your eternity scarf. So, do you have any? Did I ask you already?
Yeah, it was just the Laura Lee flashback.
Just the Laura. Okay. Who is your LVP?
Ken. I almost started off the show. We gotta go LVP first, right? Yeah, it's Ken, hands down. I'm not saying making James cry is a hard thing to do or anything, but man, I sure love the verbal beatdown, holding Jiggy while getting into his luxury ride and escorting Lisa out of the building. That's a good move there.
Mine too, and I knew he had it in him. I knew he did. There was just something about this man who has all this money, who pulled this really young woman, and there's just something about who just walks around carrying a little dog and who doesn't care about his wife, talking for him and handling his business. There's a quiet strength there that I feel like he would have knocked the spark out of James.
Oh, it's been like I said, I've been giving it the sexy beast title since we've known Ken, and he is that to a T. So,
what about your chump? I won't ask you for LVP since you just said it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Just once on that one.
Just the once.
I don't know how to phrase it exactly, but all the rules that go into your friendships, all the, bullet points for the way we're supposed to be friends and what people are supposed to learn to be friends, and all the things people must overcome in order to just be friends, as opposed to just, being friends with someone, as if that's a hard thing. Let's just make it more difficult, because we all know as we get older, it gets easier to meet new people, for God's sakes. Y'all have no idea. If you're 30 years old, shut up. If you don't want to be friends with somebody, just don't be friends with them and get over it.
And It's like Katie is asking Scheana to like sign the employee handbook or something. Like, you agree to these terms, right? Like, you know what you have to do A, B, and C here. Like, no, that's just not how it works. I mean, there are some implicit rules, but she's taking it too far.
Oh, absolutely. I mean this extreme. That is what I mean. Yeah. How about you?
Mine is a little theoretical, so bear with me.
Okay.
In this scene where Jax and Brittany are talking about the fish tank and in and around what their roles are, the fish tank is the chump here because, hear me out, this is where I go on a journey. It's a little bit of a symbol, right? It's a symbol of like the way they have mismatched dynamics, the way that Jax's expectations don't match up with his effort. And like the way that they are trying to cosplay like trad wife, trad husband roles, but neither one of them are rising to the task. And two, both of them, well, Jax feels like he's trapped and can't get out, and Brittany doesn't know she's trapped and can get out. And so the fishbowl was me waxing a little existential. But yeah, the fishbowl because of all of the things. And maybe just Jax and Brittany then.
Oh, I like it. No, and I wonder, like, I mean, does Brittany have any kind of contract, you think, where it is like, you do need to be on the show for a certain amount of time? And like, we are just going to force you all to stay in the same apartment. I'd be really interested in that.
Well, she doesn't get her space in the opening credits.
Yeah, so no, her and Lala. That's ridiculous.
Right. And which Lala for sure. But I don't know how they, like, what the hierarchy of pay is. I don't know if they have friends of in these kinds of shows, but I guess Brittany's a friend of. You get paid less and your appearances are less too. So I don't know.
I thought you were going to go with like maybe the fishbowl is the show within the show that they're watching, and because they're in their own fishbowl that we're watching.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, Jax and Brittany are in a very different kind of fishbowl. Jax is like, oh my God, I want to be out there and I can't get out. And Brittany's like, oh, I love it here and never wants to leave. And the rest of us are like, oh my God, you're in there with a barracuda. Get out.
Yeah.
So
I didn't, for this episode, I didn't get too much of Brittany loving a whole lot of what's going on. It's a little bit, this was a big period of adjustment episode for her, I felt like. It went from,
she didn't really say a whole lot,
to be like, oh, but she could have. Like, Lala comes in like, hey, how was your weekend? If she's her normal Brittany self, then I'm giving it up for her. Like, way to go. Like, those one-word answers were fake as hell. Also, that's the thing that bugs me. Not just like, it was kind of shitty. I don't think that's that's the way either one, Brittany or Scheana, actually feels like asking towards people. Like, at all.
Well, this is a good time for Brittany and Katie to implement the age-old or what? Like, you don't want me to talk to Lala or what? And Brittany is like, oh, I'm going to like really like, I'm not going to clean the fishbowl. And he's like, make me a sandwich or what? This is a really good way. Just like call the bluff. Katie doesn't have enough wherewithal. She doesn't have enough like fiber to be the queen bee who pushes back. And so go on, y'all, you and Lala go be friends and some of the B team and take Diana out for a drink. She needs it. She's frazzled.
Take Diana. Is Thunder from Down Under coming by? Get Diana.
Exactly. Diana needs it so bad.
Give her a night out.
But find us on the socials. I often, and you guys really did help me out with my asking about the past and the Vanderpump Rules. I got a lot of comments and a lot of feedback about that. At Take a Pinot Pod on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram, and direct all of your queries and questions, hot takes, comments to Jeff at pinotpod.com. He is going to be the one to answer your prayers. Also, we are experimenting a little bit with our Thursday format. We do like mini crossover sometimes. So come back on Thursdays to see what we do. We talk about a lot of different things in pop culture. And so that's kind of fun. It's just, a way for us to kind of sit down and chit chat. And we call it that because most times all three of us are together, me, Jeff, and Emilie. So come see us. Oh, and by the time you're hearing this, I will have just landed from trip to the big city. Ellie Mae goes to town. So I hope that y'all are looking forward to all of
She knows what she's doing, everybody. She's
looking forward to all of my travels. And go to social media to see all of the things.
Thanks, everybody. Bye, Sunday.